Yes. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go town. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long. Now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go town. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Look, there've been times that I thought I could last for long. Now I think I'm ready to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go town. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Look, there've been times that I thought I could last for long. Now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I was born by the river in a little tent. All right. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go to town. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long. Now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change won't come. Oh, yes, it will. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate Princeton students who have made an impact on creating a more just world for all of us.
I also go to PHS. I'm a senior, and I was the 2023 Unity Awardee winner.
We will now hear from Reverend Bill Neely, minister of the UUCP congregation. Thank you.
Good evening. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Princeton. I am Reverend Bill Neely, and it's our honor to host the Not in Our Town Unity Awards this year. Tonight's recipients advance racial justice in creative, important, and inspiring ways. We congratulate them, their families, their teachers, administrators, and mentors for their accomplishments. And we thank them for leading and challenging us to extend this work in our own lives and circles as well. We will all leave more hopeful tonight, but it's more important to leave more committed to this shared work of building a community made ever more beloved every day by our diverse and united efforts for justice and peace. We hope you enjoy our space, and we welcome you back anytime. The land and waterways upon which our congregation gathers is the ancestral territory of the Lenni Lenape Nation. We honor the contributions of their ancestors and the Nanticoke Lenni Lenape, Ramapo Lenape, and Powhatan Lenape who continue to live in this area. We continue to pledge to work with them to dismantle the legacy of oppression of Indigenous peoples and to live in harmony. May our gathering tonight contribute to the dismantling of oppression so that all people might live free and vibrant lives of hope, love, justice, and joy. Again, welcome to UU Princeton.
Thank you, Reverend Neely, for your meaningful words. And thank you to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Princeton for this awesome sanctuary and building space. Thank you also to the UUCP staff and the congregants, especially Dunbar Burney, Jose Garcia, Kevin Trainer, and the Racial Justice Ministry for hosting us, assisting us with technology, and helping with the reception, catered by Sally Cornegay. Now here's the voice of our youngest generation, Asim Williams, great nephew of Sally Cornegay and grandson of Joanne and Tommy Parker.
Good evening to all. We the children are the future. Everyone should learn to love as we do, and the world would be a better place. Love and peace are much needed in the world today. Fighting against systemic racism is a very tireless battle, and we all need to fight it together. I would now like to read it in Spanish. Buenas noches a todos. Los niños somos el futuro. Todo el mundo debería aprender a amar como nosotros. Y el mundo sería un lugar
words of gratitude to the students for their work to make our community a better place. So we want to congratulate Josiah, Layla, CJ, Sheena, Henriette, Lena, Osvaldo, Zoe, Luisa, Gabriel, Regina, Angelica, and Viviana. Coretta Scott King said that the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. So we are very proud of your accomplishments for all you do to make the school community and the Princeton community great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will now read the NIOT Princeton Mission Statement. Not in Our Town, Princeton is a multiracial, multi-faith group of individuals who stand together for racial justice and inclusive communities. Our focus is to promote the equitable treatment of all and to uncover and confront white supremacy, the system that facilitates the preference, privilege, and power of white people at the expense of non-white people and pits racial and ethnic groups against each other by upholding hierarchies based on proximity to whiteness. Our goal is to identify and expose the political, economic, and cultural systems that have enabled white supremacy to flourish and create new structures and policies that will ensure equity and inclusion for all. In our commitment to uncovering the blight of white supremacy on our humanity, we take responsibility to address it and eliminate it in all its forms through intentional action, starting with ourselves and our communities. Traditionally, at meetings and events, Not in Our Town also acknowledges the millions of enslaved Africans and their descendants on whose backs this nation's wealth was created.
So this is the 27th year of the Unity Awards. The award is given to students whose actions, intentions, accomplishments, experiences, and work exemplify our mission statement. The award was created in 1998 by Rolston Gator, a congregant of Witherspoon Street Presbyterian Church, one of the 3 founding congregations of Not in Our Town in 1999. This congregation and Nassau Presbyterian Church were the other 2 founding congregations. Ted Fetter, still active with NIOT, and who is a founding member from this congregation, sends his best regards. Barbara Flythe, who is the Not in Our Town founding member from Witherspoon Street Church, is here, and at the age of 90 is still an active racial justice advocate through Witherspoon Church and other organizations. The NIOT board, who also continued to nominate a number of students over the years. Soon the awards included middle school students and most recently from the charter school. The Not in Our Town name derived from the one taken by the group of community members in Billings, Montana, who in 1993 stood up against hate crimes being perpetrated in their community. Now let's take a moment of silent contemplation. Take a breath and think about those in our lives, in our communities, and the world in whom we are grateful, and also those in need of healing. Thank you.
This year, we have 13 Unity awardees, 1 student from each from the middle school and charter school, and 11 from the high school. We invite all of them and their supportive families to stand as they are able or raise their hand. We are so appreciative to all who reached out to students to encourage them to apply for the awards and for your nominations of students. Our nominators include Jason Burr, Andrea Dinan, Katie Deneen, Karen Gates, Irania Rodriguez Mejia, and Bethany Sadiq. Thank you to all the community and education leaders who are here today. Please raise your hand as we mention you or your organization. The Princeton Public Schools Superintendent and Administration, please raise your hand. Raise them high, be proud.
on our differences and to unite based on our common humanity. This school year has been especially challenging. I've had more than my fair share of personal experiences with racism and issues of equality and fairness. And it has shown me that we do not, and it has shown to me that we do not, and it's shown to me that we not only need to advocate for ourselves, but it is vitally important that we advocate for one another and those who may not have a voice. Again, I would like to extend my gratitude towards Not in Our Town. It is wonderful to have an organization like them in Princeton, and I look forward to doing my part and encouraging others to participate in any way I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Josiah, and congratulations. Next, we will hear from Miss Lisa Ekstrom, the Assistant Head of Princeton Charter School.
With me is Sue Kushner, our beloved school counselor. I want to thank Not in Our Town for all the work you do in our community in general and for sponsoring the Not in Our Town Awards each year. It's always a highlight of our year. And I also want to thank you especially for including middle school students. I know Jason Burr joins me in that sentiment. We always get left out. We're glad to be here. Layla Kabaz joined Princeton Charter School as a little third grader in 2018. Over the last 6 years, Layla has always been capable of speaking her mind to her classmates about things that matter. One of the last things that Layla did is to make sure that we honored Arab American Month. While at Charter, Layla's academic record has been outstanding. Her teachers have challenged her to think about larger issues of fairness, equality, and inclusivity, and she has risen to their challenges. She is able to think through complicated historical and political issues accurately and clearly in ways that adults would envy. She's able to challenge the status quo in ways that make people actually change their minds. And sometimes people, when they challenge the status quo, the other people just stop talking. But with Layla, that never happens. Every year, we choose 2 students to speak at Princeton Charter School's graduation. This year, Layla is one of our 2 chosen speakers. In her graduation speech, Layla quotes a poem by Muhammad Ali, the American boxer and activist. He gave it in 1975 at Harvard. The poem is very short. Me, question mark, we, period. It seemed especially appropriate for the meeting.
And I run the Peer Leaders Program, and that's how I know Layla. And I just wanted to say that being a peer leader at Princeton Charter is an important responsibility that takes courage and builds character. Being a peer leader allowed Layla to interact with students that were not like her in various ways. It challenged her to think about her own perspectives, her own opinions, and her own values. Layla was always reliable and consistent and was never afraid to speak up. Her blend of empathy, maturity, definitely a lot of maturity, and kindness made her a great leader, teammate, and a sought-after buddy to the younger students at PCS.
for choosing me for this Unity Award this year. I am truly honored to be receiving this award today. I would also like to thank Ms. Ekstrom and Ms. Kushner for their support and for nominating me and encouraging me to apply. Over the past 6 years that I've spent at Princeton Charter School, one of the most important things I have learned is that we are happiest when we work together with others towards making our community a more just, inclusive, and belonging place for everyone, regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation. I know that this award is not only about us as individuals, but also about our Princeton community and how we work to make this world a better place for everyone. With this spirit in mind, I'm looking forward to volunteering this summer at the Paul Robeson Center for the Arts in Princeton to work with children to spread ideas of belonging and inclusion of everyone through art. Thank you.
We will now present the awards to our Princeton High School students, and we will hear from Principal Cecilia Burge.
Before I start, I just want to make sure Josiah and Layla, where are you? Where's Layla? We're coming to PHS, right?
Okay, good. I just want to make sure and make it public. So I'm so excited to be here tonight. In fact, I was so excited I got here last night. I did. Parking was not an issue. So I am truly honored to be here today to celebrate and recognize the outstanding achievements of a diverse group of students receiving the Unity Awards. Today is a testament to the power of unity and inclusivity in our community. Each of you has shown exceptional leadership and dedication in promoting harmony and understanding amongst your peers. As we gather here to applaud your efforts, let's remember that unity is not just a simple concept. It's the foundation of a strong and connected community. It is what our democracy is built upon. Your actions and accomplishments serve as an inspiration to us all, reminding us of the importance of coming together, embracing our differences, and striving towards a common goal. I'm confident that the remarkable students being honored here today will continue to be beacons of light, guiding us towards a future filled with compassion, respect, and solidarity. Your work exemplifies the values of Not in Our Town, Princeton, and I am immensely proud of you. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Ms. Burge. The first PHS awardees are the leadership of the Multicultural Student Achievement Network, known as MSAN. And they are CJ Foreman, Co-President, Sheena Cameron Ash, Co-President, and Henry Ondongo, Vice President. The awards will be presented by Ms. Bethany Sadiq.
Come on up, Sheena, and CJ.
Here we have, we'll take a picture first. Oh, okay. Hello?
Everyone here?
Hello, hello? Okay, perfect. Here we have the formidable MSAN leadership team, CJ Foreman and Sheena Cameron Ash, co-presidents, and Henrietta Ondongo, vice president. Together and separately, they are paving the way for a more inclusive and equitable environment for all students at Princeton High School and the district. MSAN, the Multicultural Student Achievement Network, is a coalition of school districts across the country that have come together to understand and eliminate opportunity gaps that persist in their schools. MSAN's vision is to empower students and educational practitioners to change the diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and anti-racism narrative in the public education across the nation. Stated Sheena, I aim to bring MSAN's values to PHS. In CJ's words, in a school that is predominantly white, it is important to make multicultural students feel seen and like a part of their community. He said that it is key to be able to express issues and feelings that bring light to unfairness. In the fall, all three attended the National MSAN Conference in Wisconsin, and together with all other PHS students, Sheena, Henriette, and CJ created a social justice / inclusion plan. They led discussions on equity and diversity with Princeton High School and presented on ways PBS can improve its efforts to create a more inclusive environment for all students. Sheena, who is the longest participating member of MSAN, having joined in middle school, facilitated a conversation that created the idea of a Tiger Talk, talking about inclusivity, greatness, and equitable relations. A series of podcasts that highlight minority student achievement that would be broadcasted in the hallways of PHS. Sheena, CJ, and Henriette collaborated on the script for the first Tiger Talk broadcast. Sheena created Tiger Talk theme song, no surprise, as you will hear her voice in the conclusion of the program. CJ served as a host for the first Tiger Talk podcast. They released an experimental trailer that was shown to board meeting of education and advocated to board members for the district to approve an AP African and Latino Studies course, to increase recruitment and retention of teachers of color, and create a safe space at PHS for students of color. All three were leaders of the Black 365 Committee Assembly celebration during Black History Month. Sheena served as host and music performer, again, voice. CJ led a diversity-focused segment on the Tiger Talk, and Henriette represented Nigeria in a ceremony honoring the African diaspora. Sheena, Henriette, and CJ are all Paul Robeson Scholars, honored by the Board of Princeton Paul Robeson's House to celebrate and acknowledge their contributions for contributing themselves to the expansion of a sustainable and broad vision of Robinson's social justice. CJ, who is a graduating senior, was also a lead in the school's school's chapter of the National Building Equity Learning Environments Network. The network is committed to innovate and implement learning environments grounded in research and in science of learning development, as the website states, for educators and leaders who believe that we can create an education system focused on students, one that prioritizes their learning experiences in the classroom and ensures that they feel valued, engaged, and connected in their classrooms. Henriette, the MSAN liaison to the Diversity Council, brought together student leaders who collaborate to work against injustices inside the school and to help improve the quality of our school. One of the projects of the council is the Day of Dialogue that MSAN is heavily involved in. The day increases the visibility of multicultural students with PHS and educates students on the rich diversity within the school. Henriette is also a leader of the PHS Muslim Student Union and United Interfaith Group that focuses strictly on the education of Islam. Sheena is the founder of Allies for Everyone, which in Sheena's words is more than just a club, it's a movement. Our mission is simple yet profound, to create a safe and inclusive space for all students, regardless of their background, gender identity, sexual orientation, race, religion, or abilities. We recognize the importance of the role MSAN plays in creating a safe and accepting environment, allowing students to achieve their potential. We are grateful to you for ensuring that MSAN continues to be a strong presence for students and it supports PHS. Congratulations.
All right, so I would like to thank Not Our Town for selecting me for this award. I am especially thankful for Miss Sadiq for bringing me to light. I was really a really quiet kid, and she really helped me expose myself and show everyone that, hey, this is CJ, and I'm really here to help everybody. Part of growing up through PHS in my 4 years, I've noticed that if there's one thing I've stayed true to myself, and that a lot of things happen, and I've learned that in PHS there's a lot of good and bad, but it's really about how you make it out of a situation where you can become who you are as a person. And I'm also proud to announce that I'm going to Seton Hall. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ready. I go to high school and I'm in Monterey, which you guys heard that already. I'm really thankful to Not In Your Work for nominating me. I was really excited when I got my acceptance letter. I was like, oh my gosh, it really good for me. But I just want to give a special shout out to Miss Sadiq because like CJ, when I first came to the high school, I was really quiet. I didn't really talk to nobody. And with Sheena's help, because she brought me outside a lot, but yeah, with Sheena's help and Miss Sadiq's help and all three of us supporting each other, it was really fun to work with each other. And especially when we went to University of Madison, Wisconsin, and we seen everything, it was a fun experience. And I hope that other future Black girls just like me get to walk down the same path and experience the same things just as I did. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry and CJ. Y'all are so amazing. Oh my gosh, wow, this room is such beautiful people. Oh my gosh, I can't see you when I'm standing like this. Okay, wow, I'm so grateful to be here on this wonderful occasion. I barely have the words. I think I'm gonna change my mind.
I have the words at the end of this speech, and so I hope I don't bore you too much. But I will tell you, ever since I was little one, I know, hard to believe, right? I had this passion for seeing people. And it didn't matter to me the color of your skin, the weight on the scale, the inner workings of your brain. If you were a human, like me, I saw you. To this day, I live by the wise words of Mama Odie from Princess and the Frog. Don't matter what you look like, don't matter what you wear, how many rings you got on your fingers, we don't care. She said, you gotta dig a little deeper to find out who you are. I believe my mission in this world is to understand people for not just what they present, but for who they really are. And that is why I'm so honored to be here today, because it means that so many of you beautiful people see who I really am, who I always needed to be in my heart, my authentic self. MSAN was one of the greatest things to ever happen to me. I started out in the 7th grade under Miss Lenora Keel's mentorship, who some of you may know, and she allowed me, among some other kids who no longer go to PHS, to join these Zoom meetings and to get to experience the true meaning of community. I decided to stick with it, and little did I know that those virtual meetings would become a lifesaver because COVID-19 was just around the corner. My 8th grade year, I became even more involved with MSAN. I learned how to not just be an ally, but a co-conspirator, a force ready to be harnessed to love others deeper and harder than I'd ever been able to before. And not just a seer of the soul, but a listener of the heart, of life-changing experiences, of good intentions, of goals, of justice, of patience, of humanity. Today, as a co-president of MSAN, I'm so very obliged to represent Princeton High School and Princeton, New Jersey, and our Black multicultural students as a true voice for their achievement and advancement with Henry and CJ. Now, I have a few specific people and groups I'd like to thank really quickly. First, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Not In Our Town organization for providing us with this platform to amplify our voices and to work towards ending hate and discrimination in all of its forms. Your support and guidance have been invaluable in shaping our efforts and driving meaningful change in our community. So thank you. To my fellow youth activists and advocates whom this award also belongs to, your passion, dedication, and resilience inspire me every single day. Together, we have shown that young people are not just the leaders of tomorrow, but we are powerful agents of change today. We have challenged, we have challenged the status quo, initiated dialogues, and built bridges where there were once walls, as Martin Luther King advised. I also want to thank Ms. Lenora Keel and Ms. Sadiq, who both allowed me to play such an integral role in MSAN throughout the years. Thank you, and empowered me to continue pursuing our vision of a just and equitable society. Your encouragement has given me the strength to persevere, even when the path seemed daunting. And above all, I want to thank my Queen C, my dearest mother, Miss Chandra Cameron. I'm gonna try so hard not to cry. Being a single parent is nowhere near easy, but she was able to instill in me the values I needed to be compassionate, resilient, and driven. Mom, your unwavering love and support have been my guiding. You taught me the importance of standing up for what is right, and you showed me through your own strength and determination that no obstacle is insurmountable. Your sacrifices and dedication have made it possible for me to be here today. You are my greatest inspiration and my best friend. This award is just as much yours as it is mine, because everything I am and everything I strive to be is a reflection of your incredible influence. So thank you, Mom, for believing in me and for being the foundation so much. I built my dreams. I love you more than words can express. Goodness, I said I barely have the words in the beginning, and now I'm talking about fear law. Okay. This Unity Award is not just a symbol of our achievement, but a call to action. It reminds us that our work is far from over, and we must continue to stand up against injustice, to speak out against hate, and to support one another in our shared quest for a better world. Thank you once again for this incredible honor. Let us continue to stand together, united in our diversity, and committed to truly seeing one another. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheena, CJ, and Yenny. That was really beautiful. Bethany is the advisor of both MSAN and Pulse. She'll be presenting next.
So the next awardee is Lena Hamilton, and we're going to talk a little bit about what Pulse is and what they do. So Pulse is an organization dedicated to creating a safe space for young women of color in and out of our schools. The group's mission is reflected in the letters of its name. The letters Pulse stand for pride, unity, leadership, sisterhood, and esteem. This year, the president of Pulse is Lena Hamilton. Lena has led the members of Pulse to walk to the talk of their name. In the name of pride, they have 1. Revive the Black History Month Assembly. The assembly held this year was the first held in a long time. 2, they've supported the Pride Festival and Women's History Month events. And 3, they've organized prom dress giveaways, providing gently used prom dresses to students in need. In the name of unity, they have participated in the Diversity Council, represented by Lena, and Day of Dialogue, for which Lena served as the Pulse representative on the planning committee. In the name of leadership, they have campaigned to create the ROAR Center, which stands for Resource Office for Advocacy, Renewal, and Equity at PHS, and contributed to the ROAR mural. They've also spread awareness of the needs of women of color through postings on their Instagram accounts, which is at phs.pulse, if anyone wants to go follow them. And in the name of esteem, they have, in the name of sisterhood, They have campaigned to have all PHS bathrooms supplied with free period products such as tampons and pads. With Women's Space, they've created encouragement bags for victims of domestic violence, and in the name of esteem, they have collected Thanksgiving donations for Homefront, which is for unhoused families, as part of the community service project. Lena's accomplishments are not limited to her leadership in Pulse, however. She has also brought her passion for equity and inclusion to other groups at PHS. As student leader of the Black History 365 Committee, Lena served as stage director for the Black History Month Assembly. As social justice lead for AMSAN, Lena created a PowerPoint presentation and delivered it to the Board of Education, presenting 3 requests. 1, district approval of AP courses in Afro and Latino studies. 2, increase recruitment and retention of teachers of color. And 3, creation of a safe space at PHS for students of color. Through her leadership of Pulse, her celebration of Black History Month, and her advocacy for inclusion and equity in the PHS community, faculty, and building, Lena has made valuable contributions to a more diverse and inclusive school. We're grateful for Lena's accomplishments, and we're happy to honor her tonight with the Unity Award. Congrats, Lena.
Little did I know that I would absolutely fall in love with Pulse and INSA. Throughout my sophomore year, I became more and more dedicated to Pulse and was really inspired by the leadership and sisterhood that I was really swept into through our work with the Period Project, Women's Space, and most importantly, the Black History Month Assembly, which, by the way, is the first ever student-led Black History and Heritage Month celebration PHS has ever had. It was so incredible to be part of that planning committee, and I just have to extend a huge thanks to Ms. T. None of this would have been possible without her. She's so sweet, so nice. She really encourages all the students at PHS, especially me, to really speak up for what we believe in, to communicate collaboratively with teachers and faculty and administrators to help make PHS a more diverse and inclusive space for everyone. And I want to thank my parents, my mom and my dad. They're absolutely so sweet. They have raised me to really care about activism, especially when I didn't really want to listen to their speeches about Martin Luther King. Now, as I'm older, as much as I hate to say, all of their lessons have really come into play, and I'm so grateful for the person of color. Thank you.
This was not planned. I want to say 2 things. One is, the founder of Pulse is Ms. Shirley Satterfield. What was that, about 30 years ago? Yes. Okay, so Lena, you stand on the shoulders and you're incredible. Also, I'm just taking, I'm sorry, I've got to do this. I've known Bethany since she's 5 years old. She and my daughter are her best friends, and they used to just come to the house and they would sell things for good causes, even then, when they were like 7 or 8 or 9 years old. And I'm just so proud of you and what you have grown into. I can't believe it.
And I'll keep it brief because anybody that was at the Princeton Parents for Black Children Award knows that I am a crier. So thank you, Wilma, for bringing the tears out. But all of the students that are honored, our middle school students and our high school students, are truly the dreams of our ancestors. I said that before, but it just even resonates further today. I love working with my high school leaders, my Pulse leaders, and my MSAN leaders. You guys make me so proud. It just warms my heart incredibly just to be able to support you guys and see you grow. And everything that they said is true. You know, they were quiet, they weren't too short, they were a little timid, and they have absolutely blossomed, and they are the reason why I can come into work every single day and love what I do. So I just applaud all of you. The parents in the room that are the backbone of our young people that are in this room today. And again, I would like to thank Ms. Shirley Satterfield for really laying the foundation, not only for Pulse, but also in some ways for MSAN. And the fact that your legacy continues. Myself, I was a part of Pulse, and it just makes me so proud, and I'm so honored to continue your legacy and to see so many young people grow because of it. So thank you.
Congratulations again. Our next awardee is Ozzy Morales Gonzalez. Ms. Katie Deneen will be presenting his award. Ozzy Morales Gonzalez is the president of Ozzy Morales Gonzalez is the president of Latinos Unidos, the club that supports Latinx and Hispanic students at PHS. We know he is the title of a leader, but if you ask people who know him, they will tell you that Ozzy also has a heart, generosity, and the instincts of a true leader. For example, one of his teachers told us, "I've known Ozzy since he was very small." That must have been a long time ago. He has grown to be a skilled leader, and I love to see him approach new students or shy club members and get them involved. He's always asks the groups for their opinions. Here are some of the ways in which Ozzy has celebrated his culture and helped other Latinx and Hispanic students thrive in a white-dominated space. As the president of Latinos Unidos, he has led the planning for Hispanic Heritage Month and Festival Latino. He has served as the MC at 3 Hispanic Heritage Month assemblies. He also represents the club on the Diversity Council. As the president of Generation 1 Club, he has worked to ensure that all under-resourced students have the information they need to apply to college and other programs for high school graduates. As a bilingual tour guide since freshman year, Ozzy has helped with orientation for new students at PHS whose first language is Spanish. As a tutor in English language learning classes, he has helped Spanish-speaking students, but not only with English. He has tried to make sure all PLL students get support in math too. As a member of the Student Advisory Committee, he provides feedback and ideas to PHS administrators, making sure that Latinx and Hispanic students are heard. As a bilingual community member, he has volunteered in the summer program at the Dual Language Immersion School, at local schools that require translation services or babysitting so that bilingual or non-English speaking mothers can attend school events, to help teach basic college prep work to parents of 8th graders. Ozzy, thank you for the many ways in which you strengthen diversity and inclusion at PHS and in our community. We are happy to celebrate your contributions tonight with this award. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm really nervous, but here we go. First of all, I wanted to say congratulations to the others awardees that are receiving this award, and thank you to Not in Our Town for having me here and for giving me this award. Thank you. And I'm like, it's such an honor. Latinos Unidos. I honestly, first year, I remember walking around, right? I wanted to join a club that my sister and my other brothers who joined when they were in high school. And I was looking for that club. And I remember the first time that I went, I just stayed outside the door. I stayed out there the entire day. I was so shy. I was so shy to enter. And I missed a meeting. And so I asked a friend, hey, can you come with me, right? Not knowing that I'm going to join this club forever and help the community with this club. And to that friend and to this club, thank you so much for everything, right? Thank you to my Hispanic Latino community for giving me the opportunity to serve this community, and thank you to the PHS Generation 1 Club that I'm part of. Dr. Diamond is the advisor, and she was like, you should come, and I was like, yes, because I'm not a person to say no to anyone. Yes, I'll come. And not knowing that I would be the president one day, but I'm really grateful to be there and all. And Miss Sydney, thank you so much again. I had her class the first year of my Princeton High School career, right? U.S. History 1, and I'm not a big fan of history. But Miss Deneen changed my perspective. She showed me that our history, the United States history, is not a one-sided story where all the white Americans are the heroes, right? All the things that they had done to the others, to the other minorities, right? I'm not saying that the white men did not get their compliments, but there's multiple different stories to one story. And to her, I'm super thank you. I'm super grateful. Thank you, so sorry. And then I'm just gonna real quick. Quiero agradecer a mis papás, a mi mamá y mi familia, porque me ayudaron mucho. Siempre estaban ahí conmigo cuando les discutía de todo. Cuando les preguntaba, hey, ¿me puedes hacer un favor de traerme comida a las escuelas porque vamos a tener un evento? Me dijeron que sí. My parents, they showed me the most support and love that any parent can give. Anything, I would have been like, Mom, Dad, can we use some food for our fundraiser event that we're having with Latinos? They said yes, right? And they always brought it to me, they always helped, they showed me the unconditional love. Y por eso, gracias mucho. Gracias. Y gracias por darme sus apoyos y todo, por ayudarme con todo. Yo entiendo que estamos en un país que no nos ayuda con todo. And I want to say thank you to Senora Rodriguez and Senora Gates and Dr. Diamond again, because as they've been with me throughout the entire journey of my journey, throughout the entire school year and all. They've always been by my side, behind me, supporting me. And otras gracias a todos. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say, during my time at Latinos Unidos, Ozzy, you were one of those people who helped me feel confident enough to walk through the door, so thank you.
Yes, again, Ozzy. I feel like we all have something to say. Like, Ozzy is the sweetest person. Like, see him in the hallway, he's like, hey, Melanie! Like, he's always happy, always ready to say hi, and very well deserved, honestly. So, congrats again, Ozzy. So, the next awardee is Zoe Newland, and it's being presented by Ms. Burge. But we already did your bio, we get some work. So Zoe Newland became aware of the challenges of a biracial identity at a young age. Her mother was Chinese, her father American and Jewish. Zoe spent the early years of her childhood in China. Quote, I didn't know where I stood or with whom I was meant to identify, she said. I knew I was Chinese, American, and Jewish. I never knew what those words meant, but I was constantly reminded of the connotations that held to those around me. To them, I was always either one or the other, but never all of those identifiers blended together. A few years ago, she moved to Princeton with her family, just as anti-Asian prejudice was surging in the U.S. Zoe's environment was suddenly turned upside down. In China, she hadn't been Asian enough. Now, in the U.S., she was too Asian. Zoe responded by helping to organize a demonstration in Palmer Square in support of Asian Americans. She wrote a poem reflecting her experience of the hostility in her new homeland, and she read it to the crowd outside the library. Recently, Zoe's identity was challenged once again by the October 7th attack on Israel and the subsequent war in Gaza. She explained, quote, my identity as an Asian left me isolated among the Jewish community. More recently, the war in Gaza fueled tension between Jews and the group that supported the Palestinian cause. I have found myself living so many versions of racial misunderstanding that I empathize with other groups that always feel oppressed. Once I discovered that unique voice, I came to the conclusion that the best way to create mutual understanding was through discussion. Her desire for mutual understanding inspired Zoe to create a super group composed of representatives from the many PHS clubs supporting diverse racial, ethnic, or gender-specific groups. This supergroup, the Diversity Council, would allow individual clubs to gather and explore what they had in common. Now, one teacher describes the Diversity Council as a, quote, welcoming community umbrella for the ever-increasing number of student clubs. Because of this, Diversity Council sponsors the annual Day of Dialogue, and Zoe is now the head facilitator of the Diversity Council. She's responsible for many of the logistics of this important day-long event. One of her teachers explained, quote, in order to organize the Day of Dialogue, Zoe had to coordinate the leadership of 24 diverse student groups at PHS, as well as 13 teachers and administrators. During the program day, class periods rotate through the event, ensuring every one of the 1,550 PHS students engage in the dialogue and education. Zoe alone had to ensure that the event runs smoothly and that all voices are heard. So tonight we're happy to honor Zoe's contributions to diversity and unity at PHS, but we're not the only ones who want to congratulate her. Her brother, Unity Award winner, Jamma Newland, sent his congratulations in a video. David. David. Yeah.
It is an honor for me to present the Not in Our Town Unity Awards to Zoe Newland. Everybody, please give her a round of applause. When Zoe recited an original song, several hundred custodians gathered at Heinz Plaza for our town's first ever South Asian Day Parade. Recent attacks on the Chinese citizens in the streets of New York needed to act. And the words of Amanda Cohen recited at the recent presidential inauguration inspired residents. She spoke about issues of injustice with a clarity, passion, and maturity far beyond her years.
You can't hear it.
The argument was
Can't hear it. Can't hear it.
Towards the end of the poem, Zoe asked the audience a question to which she had been seeking an answer all along. Is it a sin to be? When Zoe was 13, she recited an original poem to several hundred custodians gathered at Heinz Plaza for our town's first ever South Asian Day Parade. Recent attacks on another Chinese citizen on the streets of New York moved her to act, and the words of Amanda Gorman recited at the recent presidential inauguration inspired her voice. She spoke about issues of injustice with a clarity, passion, and maturity far beyond her years. The audience was captivated by her prose, each line printed with harsh truths. Towards the end of the poem, Zoe asked the audience a question to which she had been seeking an answer for all her life. Is it a sin to be human? While that may seem like a yes or no answer, Zoe's mosaic of cultures and experiences lead her to a more nuanced answer. As a child of mixed heritage, literally called confused blood or mixed blood in Chinese Punshu. In the country where she grew up, Zoe understood racial injustice from a very early age. Being exotic, she soon gave way to being treated as the other, being denied seats in group tables and collaborating in group projects. Labels were inevitable and unshakable, and she was soon treated as a them and not an us. Coming to the United States, she thought the battle between her two identities would finally calm down, only to read in the newspaper soon after we arrived that an Asian woman, like her, was killed in the land for her race. As Zoe said in her poem, we are trapped inside of a cup, stuck at the pride. We have a view of all the wrongs in the world we can't finish. As she became gradually aware of the world she lived in, Zoe found that this fundamental wrong lay in something crucial. Society's lack of intercultural understanding, a lack of dialogue. Now, turning insight into action, Zoe strove to create an intercultural coalition, Princeton High School's first ever Diversity Council, for intercultural discourse for all. Serving as a glue between 30 cultural clubs in Princeton High School, Zoe became a crucial mediator and facilitator between clubs and club discussions, working for both us and them. Creating a team of empowered peers like herself, Zoe created a collaborator network with administration to plan and host activities. And finally, to reach out to the rest of the school, Zoe blueprinted and hosted an annual event that would become one of the most anticipated events on the Princeton High School calendar, the Day of Dialogue. As the PHS lead counselor, Dr. Dinan, puts it, Zoe has worked to become, quote, a beacon of unity and inclusion, unquote, in both her school community and in the town of Princeton and beyond. Is it a sin to be mean? Zoe asked the others. That day on Heinz Plaza, under the sweltering sun, she answered her own question. Perhaps someday, it won't be. Everybody, please give a round of applause to Zoe.
able to speak. He wasn't unable to come here because he's in Mongolia doing research on the election taking place there now. So he's doing amazing work there, and you're doing amazing work here. And it's just like such a power duo. So congrats again.
Oh my God. I'm just glad I didn't trip up those stairs, but this is great. Okay, so I spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to say for this acceptance speech. Should I talk about my project? Should I thank the people that have helped me get to where I am today? Or should I say something super philosophical and make everyone wonder if I'm actually going and say it inside? But sure, that would all make for a great speech, but I'm going to talk about something that I'm always positively going to believe in, and that is us, the people sitting right there. So, as mentioned, in 2019, I moved here from China, and it was a place where I didn't have many people who supported me, much less a place that I felt my voice was valued or heard. And like mentioned, if you were a biracial kid growing up in China like me, you were labeled with this term called 混血, with like a dunce cap and big flashy stage lights, so everyone would know. And the word directly translates to mixed blood. But the first character, 混, is a homophone for the word confused. And that is exactly who I was. I didn't know where I stood. I didn't know who I was meant to identify with. And I knew I was Chinese, American, Jewish, but never all of those things together. And people didn't see me as all of those things blended together. And I was always constantly reminded of the fact that I was always one thing or one thing too much of something to be friends with them or talk to them or be part of their little cliques. So I was never able to be fully me. I mean, I get it. You've probably never seen a little Asian girl singing the Friday Night Kiddush at synagogue. But yeah, surprise, she is there and she was me. I was that girl, and in some ways, I still feel like I am. In many places around the world, stories such as my own still aren't being recognized. However, after discovering the potential Princeton held, I decided that I wanted those stories to be seen, to be heard, and what better place to do it than Princeton, New Jersey, surrounded by people such as the wonderful people sitting in the first 2 rows here. It was with the help of my teachers, my family, my friends, and these people that I was able to finally feel safe in my own skin, no matter my religion, no matter my eye shape, and certainly no matter of my view of the outside world. Soon, I started participating in activities to promote racial equity, and it was a fiery time for social justice. BLM had just happened the prior year, and in 8th grade, I participated in the Stop Asian Hate movement by reciting the poem. I have found myself living in many versions of racial misunderstanding, and I really empathize with everyone who feels the same way or has been treated the same way. And I came to the conclusion that the best way to understand each other is through discussion. I have worked closely, extremely closely, with many of the people who are sitting here today. In fact, I've known most of you for 5 years now, and we've actually become quite close friends, and I can't thank you enough for the experience you've given me in this town. To see kids this activated and this responsible taking charges of issues that are often ignored or disregarded by the earlier generation really gives me hope that we will be able to create so much long-term change. I'm so grateful that I will be able to get to share this world with you all, and the way that we get to create change with and through each other, as that is to me why we are here to live. I truly believe that change starts with a voice, and that voice is us. Each and every one of us has a voice, an opportunity to make a difference in the world, but it all depends on if and how we want to use it. We are here today because we've used our voices and we have made a difference, but that definitely does not mean that the change stops here. So, okay. Maybe I will say something philosophical now, but I promise it is something I hope we will all continue to live by.
anyone, and please don't be a stranger to me. It is these conversations that we will continue to have together that will allow us to make an even greater change than we can make ourselves, and change the world for the better. And ultimately, I want to thank, I know I said I wouldn't do this in the beginning, but I want to thank, obviously, you all. I want to thank my parents and my family, obviously my brother. He is my ultimate inspiration. I like to say that he paved the road so that I could fly. And of course, I would love to thank the Not in Our Town Committee for giving me the honor with this award, and I hope we can all continue to try and make the world a better place.
There's many people out here that like to talk the talk, but can't walk the walk. Zoe is one of those people who has been continuously walking and walking and walking. He's doing a great job for us. Our next awardee is Lisa Nascimento Bus. Karen Gates will be representing. Louisa is a dynamic and proactive leader who contributes her time and talents to making the lives of other students better, both inside and outside the classroom. As the child of immigrants, Louisa appreciates the advantages that she enjoys. She works tirelessly to help others so that they too can enjoy the same advantages. Nearly all of her efforts outside the classes provide extra opportunities for disadvantaged students. This year, Louisa has been one of the select group of students working as teacher's assistants in ESL classes at PHS. She focuses on lower proficiency Spanish and Chinese speaking students, helping them learn important skills, how to read novels, how to write essays, and how to do research, and how to prepare for standardized tests. But she doesn't stop there. She goes above and beyond her job by creating extra study materials for these students, encouraging them outside the class. The teacher she assists says, "Louisa is the most passionate TA with whom I've ever had the pleasure to work." Not surprisingly, in the words of this teacher, Louisa has become a true role model. The teacher explains, some students had believed attending college would not be possible for them. The majority of students she works with now see how passionate she is and have become inspired to continue their education. This is an invaluable contribution that I, as a teacher rather than peer, could not make, she says. But Louisa hadn't stopped there. She found numerous ways to demonstrate her commitment to racial justice, equity, and inclusivity within PHS and the broader community. Louisa is a mentor in a research program at the middle school called eSTEAM. This program aims to expose underserved students to jobs dominated by affluent, dominantly white people through training in STEM subjects. eSTEAM students learn how to formulate hypotheses and execute scientific procedures. Currently, Louisa is helping eSTEAM students with projects related to food and sustainability. She encourages minority students to enroll in high-level math and science courses at PHS and beyond. At PHS, Louisa is a predominant member of Latinos Unidos and represents that club on the Diversity Council, where she makes sure that the Latinx community is heard and respected. The club's faculty advisor says she shows up to meetings, contributes time, effort, and great ideas, and is a convivial core member of the club. She's a leading organizer of the Hispanic Heritage Month Assembly and Festival Latino. Currently, she's busy with plans for the Day of Dialogue. Her responsibilities include both managing youth assignments, planning activities, budgeting, and making sure that a variety of cultures are represented. Louisa also serves on the leadership board of the Idea Center. This year, she has served as a pod leader by herding a team of sophomore and junior tutors and training new tutors. Next year, she'll serve as a co-director. As the head of the Career Talks Committee, she's reached out to professionals in the areas of Latin American studies and international sports, and to multiple business owners,
Presentations by guests such as these expose students to a variety of paths they may follow in their working lives after high school. This summer, Louisa is foregoing a change to take extra classes to further her own education in favor of spending more time mentoring middle school students. In all these areas, Louisa Bus is an amazing force for equality and inclusiveness. Thank you for your hard work on so many fronts, Louisa. We're happy to celebrate your contributions with this Unity Award. Congratulations.
Thank you to Mrs. Gates for providing me with the opportunity to work alongside her this year. Working as a teacher's assistant in an English as a second language class has been incredibly meaningful to me because I too have been an ESL student. I immigrated to the United States in 2016, knowing not much more than, hello, my name is Louisa and I don't speak English. The most instrumental tool to my English learning was reading novels. My love for books especially developed in the first months in America, as they transported me to a reality away from an unfamiliar community. However, the book that was most significant to me at this time was one that reminded me a lot of myself and my life. It was called Save Me a Seat, and it followed the story of Ravi, a young boy that had recently immigrated and begun studying at an American elementary school. He struggled to make friends at first and didn't feel as though his intellect was taken seriously because of a language barrier, after being considered sociable and smart by his peers back in India. This year, in my ESL class, I got to read the same book with my cohort of students who I imagine feel the same way as Ravi and I did. I hope that by the end of the novel, they became more confident in their reading and speaking, and I hope they consider me to be an important member of their journey, just as Senora Rodriguez and Mrs. Gates have been in mine. Thank you.
The next awardee is Gabriel Sigrist. And Mrs. Rodriguez is the one who's going to be presenting it. No, sorry. Oh, that's so bad. I'm so sorry. Okay. You're gonna go, yeah, sorry. Okay. So Gabriel Sigrist plays a pivotal role in the Princeton High School community as an active member of the Latinos Unidos Club. His work with the club shows his deep-seated commitment to promoting diversity and inclusivity in both PHS and the local community. This commitment shines through his involvement in organization and organizing club events such as the Hispanic Heritage Month Assembly in the fall and the Festival Latino in the spring. Gabriel plays an enthusiastic role in planning and executing in the execution of those events, ensuring their success and impact in the school community. Through helping to host events that celebrate Latinx community and heritage, Gabriel helps to provide platforms for underrepresented voices, implicitly challenging the narratives of white supremacy. Gabriel is also enthusiastic about inviting and bringing in new members. As new members expand the club's reach, they also produce a more diverse and representative membership. Thus, Gabriel not only amplifies Latinx voices, he also contributes to the creation of a more inclusive environment in which individuals from all backgrounds feel valued and respected. This form of community building allows individuals from diverse racial and ethnic backgrounds to come together in an equitable society. Through his actions, Gabriel embodies the values of diversity, inclusion, and social justice, making a tangible difference in the PHS community. So I'm very glad to give you this one.
Hello, everyone. I'm gonna make mine so pretty quick, but I want to start off by obviously giving thanks to my family. My mom and my dad and my sister are here today, and I couldn't have done any of this so without them. I love them from the bottom of my heart, and I always love that they're always there for me, no matter what I'm going through. I also want to say thank you to the organization, So Not in Our Town, for giving us this amazing church and event. Uh, and I'm really happy to be here. And I also obviously want to thank Ms. Rodriguez for giving me the opportunity to win this award. And I obviously couldn't do any of this without her, as she has constantly helped me uh, be a member of Solatinos Unidos, especially when I first moved here. And obviously when I came into high school. At first, I wasn't exactly sure if I fit into the club, as everyone else there spoke Spanish, and me, being Brazilian, only spoke Portuguese. But obviously, that didn't matter, as I was still Latino. And also, Ozzy, another reward member, and Luisa both helped me a lot with staying in the club and continued their support with me. So, thank you so much to everyone.
Our next awardee, I am honored to present her, is Regina Sakar Nicolau. Regina's work in various organizations reflects her commitment to racial justice and equity and to building inclusive communities within Princeton High School and the local community. To help Spanish-speaker students integrate into the school, Regina founded the ESL Peer Program. The program provides tutoring and other types of support, helping to ensure that all students have equitable access to education. To promote diversity while having fun, Regina leads the Korean Club. The club's name may be misleading. The Korean Club does not pursue a broadly defined mission, such as celebrating all facets of Korean culture through a narrowly defined audience, such as only students of Korean heritage. Instead, it focuses on a narrowly defined mission, introducing students to popular Korean culture through dance, with a broadly defined audience, which is any students interested in dancing to K-pop music. Regina is the club's choreographer. Through the eye-catching performances of the K-pop dances that highlight the talents of Asian students, Regina combats stereotypes and promotes racial equity. But K-pop is not the only type of music Regina is used to for dances to foster cross-cultural appreciation. As a member of Latinos Unidos, she celebrates Hispanic culture through dance. For example, for Hispanic Heritage Month, she choreographs dances that challenge ethnic stereotypes and showcases the richness of Hispanic heritage. When she's not using fun on the dance floor to promote multi-ethnic approach, Regina helps to help raise funds for children affected by crises and families in need through a charitable organization called Make Your Mark Club. Her work shows her commitment to supporting marginalized groups. Regina's creative use of her multifaceted talents demonstrates her active commitment to equity and diversity at PHS and beyond. As a leader and an artist, she confronts racist stereotypes and helps make the PHS environment more equitable and welcoming for all students. Regina, we appreciate your work to make PHS more diverse and welcoming at the same time. We are delighted to show our appreciation tonight by giving you this Unity Award. Congrats.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say a few words and also give my thanks to my wonderful teachers that have supported me through my leadership journey, and also my wonderful family. My dad's right there. Thank you for coming. And my mom and sister couldn't make it today, but I still want to share my appreciation and my love for all of them, and yeah, all of my support. So I just wanted to say that it is an honor to receive this award, and I could not have done it without the help of my teachers, mentors, and family. I especially want to give a warm thank you to my loved teacher and advisor, Senora Rodriguez, which guided me through the creation of this program, along with ESL teachers, Mrs. Gates and Mr. K. I truly admire them for their dedication to the Latino community and their belief that everyone should feel at home at Princeton High School. In my time with this initiative, I have internalized this belief of acceptance and community, and will continue striving for unity and equity in my every endeavor, especially as I go to my university next year, the University of Michigan. Thank you again.
University of Michigan.
I apologize. I forget whether or not I said Miss Rodriguez's name. I just want to have another round of applause for Senora Rodriguez.
Our last awardees are Angelica and Viviana Cristofolini, and they will be presented by Katie Deneen. Yeah. The Cristofolini sisters, Angelica and Viviana, have big dreams for their futures. Both are studying to become surgeons, but they also share another dream, the dream of increasing the number of medical practitioners from groups that have been historically underrepresented in medicine, primarily minorities and girls. Together, they created a bold plan to address their second dream. Last summer, they held the first session of their annual biomedical immersion camp in Princeton. The camp is a two-week school that presents an intensive introduction to medical topics, including hands-on lab work. It is designed for middle schoolers from historically underrepresented groups. To achieve their goal of reaching their unserviced audience, they knew that accessibility would be key. So they tried to keep costs down by doing the following. They did all the organizational work themselves. They arranged rentals and advertising and planned campers' lunches, in addition to planning the curriculum, lectures, and labs. They offered transportation and scholarships whenever necessary to bring a student to camp. They charged a tuition of $330 for 2 weeks of classes that met 5 hours a day from Monday through Friday. Full financial aid was made available to all who needed it. The 2023 camp was attended by 12 students. All were racial minorities and most were girls. The curriculum covered medical topics not usually addressed in middle school. For example, Angelica's and Viviana's teaching duties included the following: delivering lectures on topics such as reconstructive surgery, AI and medical technology, transplant surgery, and stem cells, and leading daily labs for projects such as dissecting frogs and extracting bismuth from Pepto-Bismol. The campers were challenged to prepare final research projects. They researched topics such as Botox injections, using Lanosterile eye drops for cataracts, and bioprinting organs to address the problem of waitlist.
Diversity.
This is crazy. Like, wow. I am shocked reading this list. I am shocked. Wow. Not content to simply present sophisticated medical lectures and exercises to their campers, Angelica and Viviana also made a point of emphasizing the importance of diversity and inclusion in medicine throughout their lectures and activities. For example, they gave one lecture about the racial demographics of doctors and surgeons in various specialities. They discussed what sort of factors cause drastic differences between the percentage of whites and minorities between men and women in the medical field. The accessibility of medical school and discrimination were discussed. They went on to explore what sorts of steps we should take to improve such statistics. Angelica and Viviana, we salute your extraordinary project. We appreciate the hard work you do to share your personal dreams of a future in medicine with those who can't ordinarily share it. We're delighted to honor you and the Biomedical Immersion Camp this evening with the Unity Award. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the wonderful Not in Our Town team, especially Wilma, who sat down with us and interviewed us one-on-one on our camp. I'd also like to give a great thanks to Ms. Deneen, who graciously presented our award to us today. So Melanie already gave us some great context into our camp, which was a biomedical immersion camp that targeted middle schoolers around the Princeton region to have the goal to spark curiosity in medicine and medicine-adjacent fields, especially since this field isn't particularly addressed, especially in middle school, and really, students don't have an opportunity to experience it until the undergraduate level. So to plan for our camp, we first thought about what we'd like to do in the middle school ourselves. So in middle school, you like to touch things, right? You like to dissect a lot of things, you love hands-on projects, so we definitely made sure to include a lot of those, with the big hit being the frog dissection, of course, where students were able to wear masks as well as goggles and cut the frogs by themselves. Of course, we also had other more scientific experiments such as redox reductions, titrations, as well as extracting bismuth from Pepto-Bismol, which was a moderate success as we only were able to obtain a 0.5 milligram yield. Yeah. In terms of lectures, some big standouts were reconstructive surgery, as well as plastic surgery for cosmetic reasons, as well as transplant surgery and biotechnology. I was especially proud of the campers for being able to all construct their own research projects, with some standouts being Botox injections for Raynaud syndrome, which is basically when your hand turns purple due to a lack of circulation in your blood vessels. And finally, I'd like to say thanks to my parents for funding our endeavors and giving our initial seed investment, and of course, covering the bit of debt that we accumulated. Hi, thank you to everyone here for attending, and thank you to Ms. Deneen again, and thank you to my parents and Wilma Solomon for interviewing us one-on-one for the Not in Our Town Award. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this year's plan now, since we're planning another 2-week session in August. So this year, following the completion of many courses at PHS, such as AP Bio and Organic Chem, now I am pleased to announce that we have reformulated the curriculum of the Biomedical Immersion Camp, since a lot of the previous students who came last year are actually rejoining us for another session. As always, financial aid and scholarship will be made available to all who have registered, and we currently have 20 signups, and it is not even August yet, which is our deadline to enroll. So hopefully we will have at least 30 kids this year, and we will be running it at the same location, All Saints Church in Princeton. I would also like to thank Lisa Ekstrom, who is here, for spreading the word about the camp at Princeton Charter School. We had a lot of charter kids registered last year, and a lot of them registered this year, so thank you again.
Congratulations once again to all of you. Can we get a round of applause?
We would like to our community leaders.
Mayor Mark Frieda was unable to attend due to a previous commitment, but he has sent some words of congratulations read by Councilman Leighton Newland, who has his own greetings.
First, good evening, and first giving honor to God from whom all blessings flow. I want to say how perfectly amazed I am with just being here tonight. Thank all of you for coming, but the young people who received awards tonight, you have my sheer congratulations. It is amazing. I want to read a brief note that Mayor Mark Frieda asked me to read for him, and then I have a few very brief remarks on my own. From the mayor, I am sorry I was unable to attend tonight's awards. I would like to congratulate the young people who received Unity Awards tonight. Your work to promote racial justice is making things better at your schools and in your communities. You give me great hope for the future. Thank you. For me, I just want to echo the mayor's remarks and share with you that I and my colleagues congratulate you and thank you for your hard work and your activism on behalf of others. It is very clear to see. I also want to acknowledge and offer with deep gratitude and deep appreciation the work that Not in Our Town does in the areas of racial equity, social justice, and the ever-present and ongoing struggle with racism, our country's ugly and crippling disease. Just before I got up to make these remarks, my significant other, Tisha Jamat, leaned over to me and said, "These kids are phenomenal." And I could not agree more. And in closing, I just want to share with you, I think that many adults in today's world have great trepidation about our future. I got to tell you, I was here 2 years ago. I was here last year. I'm blown away this year. I can only imagine what's going to happen next year at these leadership awards. It just keeps getting better and better and better. Stay focused. Be great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a special presentation. We will close with a special rendition of the song Home from the musical The Wiz by Sheena Cameron Ash.
The special presentation is for these amazing young I think I must have asked them 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure, but anyway. But I just really thank you so much. They jumped right in. It was challenging. I forgot to bring the script today. So thanks to their dad, he printed it out. Thanks to Fraud. Thank you. But anyway, so you were just extraordinary. I know it's a long program, but thank you so much for being willing to experience the amazement of all these children, young people. And now Sheena.
She's gonna sing.
All right, everyone. I haven't talked in a while, so hopefully my voice isn't too terrible. But I'm gonna sing this a cappella. Some of you may know this song already, but I hope you all can relate to it if you don't. Okay. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. Wind that makes the tall grass bend into leaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a meaning, sprinkling the scene, makes it all so clean. Maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. It sure would be nice to be back at home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time be my friend. Let me start again. Suddenly my world is gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, and yet I've watched it growing. And oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see. Tell us, should we run away or should we try and stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be hard to see, but it's taught me to love. So it's real, it's so to me, and I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours.